Okay, there it is, guys. We're back. Uh, yeah, disconnected due to a unstable connection. I don't know where it left off, so I just went back a couple minutes. I apologize. I brought up speed test to see if there was something there, and apparently it's just Discord. So I do apologize. Let's get back to it. Check your router and firewall. How about you check Discord or Twitch? Let's say Twitch. It's on Twitch. It's not on me. So yeah. What's up, Moose? How you doing?
Just to get an idea down here, guys.
I'll be good here in a second.
Where are we at?
All right. Had a drop
That's
for a
not
few
very
minutes.
much audio.
Don't know what it is. It's got to be. It's got to be Twitch's side. Everything on me is fine.
3 hours, 6 minutes. Okay.
But been a good day. Played some PUBG. Got some dinner. Bug it. Let's do a show. I don't know why this is so good. Water in a can, you wouldn't think it'd be any good. I think it kind of fits the paranormal liquid death. Especially for lethal injection. Liquid death. Oh, I do too. Now, like I said, get them to sponsor. I'll go on a regular schedule if they'll sponsor. I'll throw the freaking logo up on the freaking stream. Yeah, good luck. It ain't gonna happen. Nobody wants to sit around and pine dock. I wouldn't want to be. With all the lawsuits, I wouldn't want to be. Oops. Nah, is what it is, guys. I wish people would be more interested in finding out what the real paranormal is. They just want to see evidence. That's it.
Sebastian, will you come back out, please?
But we have fun. We do.
I'm sorry, Sebastian. Please forgive me.
All right, Korg. No worries, bud. Take your time. Not going anywhere.
Oh, I guarantee you.
once we get to about there, that's pretty much it for the recorder. So, or pretty much it for section 2.
Yeah. And that's where you get that. That's where you're
Like
supposed
I
to
said,
stop.
AFC and NFC championship tomorrow.
I mean, that's weird.
Gonna be oh so much fun.
Snap, for real. Not tonight. We have I have a report in Brazil. I had one down at the other end last night. I wonder what's up. The guy on the side. Is that last Sunday? Dennis didn't know what it was. But when I was in the kitchen earlier, I did mention 2 days, and then the guy who stabbed him, I said, just so you know, the guy who stabbed him isn't dead. He got his retribution, he had a respiratory infection, so he got his allowance 40 years later. I'm sure they do, I'm sure he's got his ass kicked a couple times. Yeah. Ah, yeah, good catch, Steve. And for the recorder and the GoPro and the recorder down the hall, Susan pointed out the temperature on the eddy meter is fluctuating between 71.3 and 71.4. I'm investigating on the 13th and the 14th. Sebastian, if that is you letting us know you're still here, and those are the 2 nights that I've been here, could you please line up that box for us one time, please? That's weird.
The fuck is that?
That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird.
I don't know. Sounds like it's distant.
That's weird.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
got to be
that's
somebody down the
weird.
hall.
It's been fluctuating for 5 minutes now, and all of a sudden it stops. If that isn't Sebastian, do you have the energy to knock that box over if you don't want to mess with it? Just give it a good kick if you want to.
That's Chris. Debunk, easy.
Can you do that again?
When we get to the video of us in women's, that's going to be a lot of fun. Because we get to see the Eddie going off all the time. You hear us saying it? Might be a while before we get to the video, but we will. What is all this? I do not remember.
What's that? We're gonna go to the office. Okay.
9 minutes of whatever it is.
That's right where I put the, ooh, what's happening here? All right, guys, I'm gonna put this down here on the foot of the bed.
Welcome back.
So you guys see, Susan and Chris just told me C11 is an active cell. Lo and behold, I put the recorder on C11.
How odd is that? You heard him say C11. They're going to the office, go to C11. They didn't tell me the active cells. It's like my 5th year at the prison. I walk through and wherever I feel there could be energy. And this recorder is on the door of C11. That's kind of ironic. I don't know. Maybe I'm more in tune than I thought.
Make sure there's nothing embedded in here like there was up in. All right, guys. Susan and Chris told me to come down here to speak with you. Thank you for doing that. Immediately turning on the light. Thank you. Are you one of the women of the prison? Could you touch that box for me, please? Sebastian, is that you? Mr. Cole, is that you? As Susan and Chris say, and I don't mean disrespect, Stinky, is that you?
Stinky, one of the guards or one of the prisoners that never showered. Don't remember what they said his name was. It's kind of fucked up, but...
If you are a man, could you tap that box for me, please?
Is that footsteps? Too faint to tell. Sounds like it, but we're not going to go crazy over footsteps.
If you're a woman, could you touch that box for me, please? If you would like me to leave, could you touch on that box, please? And I'll leave you in peace tonight until I pick up my gear.
That's a bird. If you want me to leave, light up the box. They light up the box, I don't leave.
You know, I do thank you for speaking with, Susan, Chris, and myself tonight. It's going to be another year before I make it back here to talk to you again. Could you take that back down to 71.4 again, please, so I know that you're with me? You don't have to set off the lights. But being 1-4, today being the 14th, it'd be a nice gesture to just get an idea of your presence.
I find it kind of funny. We're getting more evidence on the 14th than we did on the 13th. Kind of cliche. I know investigating Friday the 13th, it just shows the days really don't matter. You know, anniversary of the executions, Friday the 13th. It doesn't matter. But we like to hope it does.
I know it's a parlor trick, and I'm sorry.
Asking ghosts to do parlor tricks. Like it's a frickin' circus.
Do you guys travel throughout the prison and speak with each other? If you do, could you make that yellow light light up again, please?
And that's kind of a dumb question. If you travel throughout the prison and speak with each other, we know they do. Uh, the other downside of that one is the lower yard stays to the lower yard, and the spirits in the upper yard stay in the upper yard. If you go to the upper yard, the spirits in the lower yard will not communicate with you as much, and vice versa. We've learned that, and we found out the hard way from Susan on that one. They basically said, yeah, it's like if you go up there, they're not going to talk to you. It's true, but you learn the hard way, right? If you want to investigate the whole prison, you investigate the whole prison.
There's a lot of traffic in the background.
Problem is, recorder's not picking it all up.
Does it bother you that there's so much traffic going by and it's so noisy all the time?
It's neat that they won't speak to you if you go to certain areas. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Do you have any words for Susan, Chris, Tammy, and Michelle that are keeping this prison up for others to come in to speak with you? Do you have any words for them?
In the upper yard, they're the newbies. Guys who have been there doing life. In the lower yard, the original cell houses. You get this new building built, they get all the comforts, and you're stuck in the tiny cells as opposed to the suites, where you get one cell to yourself, as opposed to sharing. So, I get it. A little animosity between the spirits.
Do you miss the fact the other Chris is no longer here? Could you light up that box, please?
And that would be Chris B. We do miss him. Good guy. Miss investigating with him. Hey sis, how you doing?
Does it scare you when they bring...
Hi back. Corgi, Moose, Deads, Fish. Kiana has been a friend of mine for over 20 years. Probably, let's see, 26, 22, 20, 23 years, somewhere in there. Give Denise a hug for me and the grandbaby too. So, how have you guys been?
Bring the tours through here with all these strange people to walk through.
About that?
Does that scare you?
Whenever she says, don't listen. Everything she says about me is probably a lie.
What do you miss most about life outside these walls?
Bullshit. Corgi.
Of course, I have to ask, what did you do to get put in here? What were you convicted of? Alright, clicking is a flashlight. Alright guys,
Sorry,
I
Corgi.
don't really sense that you are here, so I'm going to head on over to another area to speak with them. So, if you'd like to say goodbye, could you please touch that box? I will leave you in peace for tonight, and I'll be back later to pick up that little box on your door with a red light on it. So if you have anything else to say, please speak into it, and I'll be able to hear your stories later.
You're right. I ain't.
So I do thank you for speaking with me tonight. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
So the good thing is, the rest of this recorder looks to be flatlined. Probably gonna jump right through it real quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be that tonight in Woodlands. I'm going back later here, so I hope you enjoy this.
So yeah, it's go back 20 seconds. 19, 1 minute. 19, 20. There.
So I do thank you for speaking with me tonight. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
I don't think it was.
So I do thank you for speaking with me tonight. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
No. Not that I'm hearing. I think what that was is the cushion in my shoes when I step down, and you get that kind of that air compression coming out of your shoes, the soft-soled shoes, that foam. I think that's what that was. I'm actually almost positive. So we're probably going to be jumping into section 3 here in just a second. If that's flatlined, like I said, as soon as we finish this recorder, we're going to jump into the static recorder that was in the kitchen that we started right before I took my month-and-a-half break. But yeah, sis, I was warned about the execution chamber. I didn't listen. It took me, what, October, November, December, January, just a hair over 4 months to get back to normal after being in there. Okay. Let's get on to. No, I don't want to save it. Yeah, I should have listened. That was probably the dumbest thing I could have done not listening on that, especially the docents telling me not to do it. Corgi, don't ask that. Don't ask that question, sis. Don't ask it. Don't answer him. Do not feed into this. Do not feed into this. And here goes Adobe Freeze. Thank you, sis. Just feed into the fire. Feed into my nightmare. It's okay. Okay, we can delete that. Damn it. Okay. Love you too, sis. You came in here and threw me under the bus. It's okay. Oh. Yeah. If I had a bottle of Jack near me, I'd take a big swig, but I haven't had a shot in close to 2 months now. Well, we've only just begun. Yeah. 7 ought to do it. Oh shit, not 77. That would kill our frickin' ears. All right. All right. They can do that. Yeah. So this is pretty much a flat line. So we're going to skip through this really quick, and we're going to jump into the video tonight. All right, so we got about another hour or so to go. So we'll get through a good portion of the video. Granted, like I said, it's a static camera. Well, Corgi, she's not technically my blood sister. She's not my blood sister. She's just one. She's a very good friend, and I call her my sister. That's how long I've known her. So, what do we got here? Still, yeah. And we might have something to listen to here. Go way back, yeah. I said 20, 24 years, 23, 24 years. And that's the other team. The team that got kicked out of the prison or banned from the prison. Is that her husband or another spirit telling her, shh? I think that's her husband telling her to shut up. So you know what? Let's tell her the same.
Would you shut the...
Stop fucking whispering!
Oh, he's got a recorder. He's got a recorder right there.
They see the recorder, yet they keep whispering.
Pull on my ear, would you?
You know, and this is whenever I set up the investigation for the prison, I invite other teams. When we get there, we're setting up for the night. I get there about an hour and a half, 2 hours before everybody. Susan and the other docents have afforded me that luxury. They made me a docent the last time I was up there. Like I said, I go throughout the prison. I set up all my recorders, minus the GoPros. I end up doing that like an hour later. And I tell the teams, listen, I have recorders freaking everywhere. I've got like 20 recorders spread out. Don't whisper. If you walk by it, identify yourself. Just say, hey, this is Bill walking by. Hey, Bill, hey, I see Brent's recorder. This is just Bill and our team. We're walking through. Continue investigating like normal. Don't see, oh, there's Brent's recorder. Let's talk like this. Now I got to spend the time debunking your whispers between that and EVPs. Don't be a jackass. Can we get something to analyze? Probably not. That's probably a door slamming. Yep. Better be a jackass than Jack's ass. You're not wrong. Okay, if they're gonna continuously whisper, we're gonna have to skip it. Which absolutely sucks. That sounded better in my head. Why do you think I don't say half the shit that pops into mine? For one, I'd probably lose viewers, and two, what's wrong with you? What isn't wrong with me? Well, you guys should know this by now. Okay, that's gone. Now we're on to the Clearly Canadian. Ooh. And there's their meter going off. Sis, I haven't had any alcohol since before my surgery. Since about 2 weeks before my surgery. Yeah, I'm down like 22 pounds. Oh, come on. Really? Don't know if that's crickets or their meter. That's their meter. Yep, meter and cricket, I think. And it, like I said, it's like I've always complained, you know, people bring the noisy meters. And this goes back to not last year, but the previous year. the deaf paranormal team that brought the noisy meters. Like I said, I'm fascinated by the deaf and the paranormal. I think it's fascinating, but to bring something that emits so much freaking noise is defeating. It's like, well, it doesn't have any lights. How do you know it's when it goes off? It's I'm not trying to laugh at it. Please believe me, I'm not. But it's humorous. Okay, there's ooh, more motorcycles. Yeah, we're and since it's your first night here, this is the reason I just skip over shit like this. All these clicks and pops are just residual noises from the prison, from the locks, the roof, just from 1862 to 2012, 150 years of history in the prison. We get so many of them. It's not evidence. It's just the age of the building. So a lot of people ask why you jumping by the spikes. That's the reason. And let's close that out. So that's just us coming in, or me coming in to get gear. So nothing special, nothing spectacular. Let's close. Exit that. Exit that. Let's get out of here. GoPro 891 kitchen. And here's the kitchen. All right.
Alright guys, this is Brett with Incarnate Paranormal, Nevada State Prison. Night 2, visit 5. This is GoPro 8 being left in the kitchen. After yesterday, they showed me a picture of Mr. Daryl Mack being seen over by this post. We're going to see if we can get his spirit walking by.
All right. Now, at least we got something to look at rather than the spectrum. This is usually where I kind of turn the camera off so we can watch the video. And this is a total of 3 hours and 16 minutes of a static camera. Matter of fact, instead of doing that, I can do this. I can minimize it. So let's get this. Pay attention for EVPs. I write it down, then I load it back into Adobe Audition, and we go back and see if we can nail down the EVPs. only downside of this is you got to pay attention to the audio. We have yet to really see anything on video. We had a couple of orbs last year, or excuse me, previous year. Hoping for some shadows, shadows and execution once we get to it. And the still frames, the pictures that Chris took of me in the chamber, we did get a couple shadows outside. But this is where the boring starts. We saw a face in execution from the chamber. Yes, we did. Let's see if I could. Do I have that readily available? I don't remember. I think I do. You just gotta find it. Yeah, there were two full faces. Uh, just got to remember where we put them. Okay. If you look closely, yeah, the little kid's voice saying, "Can I go home?" That was tough. If you really look closely, directly above my head, there's a face right there. Looks almost sad. Like right above where the pointer is. Then, like as long as you've known me, sis, have I ever had liver spots on the side of my freaking neck? No. But the side of my neck, it looks like something's trying to grab me. So this was taken by Chris with his cell phone, Chris Pitzer. And it, like I said, I cannot wait to get to this video. So creepy is what it was. You're not lying. I'm the one who freaking lived it. It scared the living shit out of me. You know, because like I said, it 4 months to get rid of it. And like I said, even when we did, the EVP we got the previous year, from the upper yard. The only time we went to the upper yard this last investigation is because of the EVP saying check the sink. You guys remember this because we actually found a piece of knife in the sink, which was this. This was wedged behind the sink in Neil Pitney's cell. And like I said, the docents of the prison told me to take it home. So yeah, I've got it somewhere around here. All right. Probably another not so bright idea is bringing a piece of the prison, home with me. Hey, here's a knife that could have been used to cut drugs or slice somebody. Take it with you. What's the worst that could happen? I don't want to answer that. A lot could happen. And it has. But again, this is what we put ourselves into. Investigating. Shit is going to happen. Problem is, it happens to me. I'd rather it happen to me than somebody else. Happen to me than a rookie. If what happened to me happens to somebody new in the field, they'll never investigate again. I can 100% guarantee you, if they got rolled like I did in execution, they'd quit the paranormal. They'd sell their gear, and they'd never watch even scary movies again. And I'd be willing to put money on it. Don't ask shit you don't want to know the answer to. You couldn't be more right. Like I said, we've talked about this. When I trained people at a location we had that would let us go in to investigate as long as we didn't reveal the location, watching people run out and quit. Oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. I told you what was going to happen. Well, I thought you were joking. You were exaggerating. Evidently not. Well, I don't want to do this. Your girlfriend's staying and you're leaving. What's that say about you? I'll go sleep in the car. All right. Once you leave, you're not coming back in. And then the girlfriend joins the team and he gets left at home. And yes, that did happen. I just can't say the location because it was funny. See a shadow and they're like, oh my God. Gonna have to do something special though. August 1st will be 17 years in the field. Wow. Yeah. Moose. Absolutely. We know who wore the pants. It wasn't him. Be like, you're going to lose your girlfriend to me. Not that I do that to somebody, but it's like, dude, you got to trust me with your girlfriend when we go out of town. I ain't going to let anything happen to her. When it comes to the team, though, I don't do that shit. I'm straight business when it comes to the paranormal. And some of the stories I've heard about what has been done in locations. It's like you did what? You did what? No. How about no? The room I was just in had something in it. Do not investigate your own home. We know this. Hell, ever since I got the cat, there hasn't been any activity in the house. Let me go back 40 seconds. Oh, at the hospital. It might be the light. I said the problem is you set up too much light, the spirits don't come out, which sucks. Which means I think I'm taking the full spectrum now on the next investigation. Shower would turn off and on randomly. There's explanations for that. Shitty water pressure, old pipes. The water pressure is probably the main culprit. Toilet would flush randomly. If it's a self flusher with the sensor on it, even if a shadow walks by, it's possible. I would check water pressure first. I mean that some of that shit's explainable. It's tough to talk. It's tough to say without actually physically seeing it. The self flusher at work has done that a couple times. It's not an auto flush. I'd check the water pressure before I'd make any determinations. Is it possible it's haunted? Yes. It's a hospital. People die there all the time. So yeah, does their energy stay there? Did they die on the shitter? It's possible. And that's the last thing they remember is that toilet flushing. The dignity of flushing the toilet so they don't see your BMs. Who knows? I know that's disgusting to say, but what can you do? You got to look at every angle. I mean, how many times, a couple, where we've heard people walk by and let one rip? That's why I say, know the functions. And I hate teaching that part of the paranormal. I freaking hate it. When you get to debunking and you've got, guys, we got to get a little disgusting here. Know your team's bodily functions. Fuck. I'd love to investigate a hospital like that, a newer hospital. I've investigated a couple older ones. The videos I had to take down because out of request of the owner, uh, it was like 6 rooms. It was tiny back from early 1900s, and the building was in shit shape. Uh, they wanted me to take it down because they didn't want people identifying it and wanting to go investigate because the building was not safe to be in. But they did it as a favor because the lead of the old team that I was with knew him. Like, yeah, we'll let you in, just keep it private. Building's about 50, that's not old. You're still talking, 1970s. Hospital that I did was back to like 1918, up from like early 1910s up to the 40s or 50s. But I really want to get the Jeep to where I could go to some of these ghost towns. I've got maps to almost all of them. Some of the hospital, if the buildings are still standing, would be great. An old doctor's office or an old coroner. That'd be a lot of fun, but what can you do? Yeah, that's the other downside. Finding building if buildings are still open in use, even if you go into a closed wing of a building that's still active, they're not fans of it. Uh, Probably not, sis. You need something with a very narrow wheelbase, full four-wheel drive, and you really need two vehicles. Some of them are like from 1 to 5 on the off-road scale. Some of them are level 4 and 5. They're tough to get to. I mean, they're you got to know how to off-road. Uh, and some of them, it's like you're talking 2-3 hours off-road. And like when I was in Goldfield talking to one of the guys up there, he's like, I'll escort you out to him. And he has a Jeep too, an older one. He's like, but I'm telling you, you better watch it. So, yeah, and these are guys like the guy who lives in Goldfield owns the mine, a couple of the mines up there, a couple of the old mine cabins that are still livable. He's rebuilding a lot of the historical buildings, and he's like, Brent, he goes, I have relics from all these the gold rush towns up here, all the mining towns. He has artifacts from. The fuck was that? Why am I getting a Windows notification? But yeah, he's like, you can get to them. Some of them are easy. Some of them are dirt road. Some of them are trails. He's like, some of them like old washes. You need to know where to cross. It's you have to know the area. Will I ever do it? Probably not. But like I said, 16 years, over 1,000 investigations. If I don't get to them, oh well. I mean, for me, if I went out to them, I'd have to get there, midday, set up a tent, uh, and investigate them at night. Pitch black in the desert. Probably not the best thing to do. Investigate at night, go to sleep, get up early morning, and drive out. But then you got to worry about rattlesnakes, coyotes, wildlife, and and all that fun shit. So that's why you'd have to take a gun with you. I mean, there's so much you got to take into account with that. Make sure you have a couple spare tires, spare water, radiator hose. You got to really gear out, because off-road recovery for shit like that, a couple $1,000s. That sounds like footsteps. Maybe not. I had one in the backyard a few weeks ago. A lot of the areas here in Vegas, because they're building so far out, we're starting to have coyote problems. They're getting into these neighborhoods and people are just flipping out. It's like, well, you bought into a new neighborhood on the outskirts of town. Did you think you weren't going to see them? Oh, I didn't know. It's like buying friggin' houses near the pig farm out here, or what used to be. People buy it near the pig farm, and then they complain about the smell. You just can't fix stupid. I mean, give it some time, you could probably feed them by hand. Just saying on that. Get some all the time she lives close to downtown. Huh. Haven't seen any near me yet. Then again, I've got a crazy cat around here somewhere. I don't need a coyote. I've got a jack. Our neighbors pool got attacked by one, and we get them at my house all the time. We're out by the South Point. South Point, yeah, you're going to get them out there. You got desert all around. So there's probably dens close. Like I said, this is the downside of static video. We have the washes, yeah. There's dens everywhere, so. You've shot bigger things than most poodles. Everybody has. have a big dog and an extra large dog. Yeah. And guys, that we got a little ways into this. We've got another hour and 25 or 2 hours and 25 minutes on this video. I think we're going to go ahead and call it here for the night. Yes, there's going to be a show tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, more than likely. Not going to be tomorrow. Got the game. Not going to miss the game. Got a couple things to take. God damn, my hair's a mess. Couple things to take care of. I don't know. I'll post it on Facebook. So keep your eye out for that. It's going to vary for right now. I'm still trying to get back to a normal streaming schedule. But there will be one. Deads, moose, sis, corgi, fish, everybody else lurking in the shadows, I truly thank you guys for being here tonight. We got EVPs off the recorder, nothing off the GoPro, which is pretty much par for the course right now until we get to execution. So with that being said, good night, God bless, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks again.